Traitors UK has finally come to an end. Let's recap it. It starts with Charlotte making her way to the secret chambers where Frankie was waiting on her. Frankie is just a bag of nerves. She's got this envelope, in front of her. Charlotte comes, takes a seat. I couldn't really get any expression from her face, really. I don't know. It was quite expressionless to me, at the time. And I think Frankie had some doubt because of what Freddie said, and she was looking for some answers in Charlotte before she could open up the envelope, but Charlotte wasn't giving anything. And her hands were shaking, and eventually she opens it up, and the word traitors is written on it, and in Mina's words, the color just drained from Frankie. It's, I just, I can't believe how a game can get too intense and too personal. We go around, well, they go around saying, don't take it personal, don't take it personal. But I'm sorry, I think it's hard to, because you didn't know yourselves prior to this. You've come in, we're humans, we're not meant to live in isolation. We get into our little groups, we get to know each other's backgrounds, we bond over something. I don't think they've got their phones or any kind of, electrical devices on them. It's just that human connection. And you just start to build trust, because that's what we do, isn't it? You start to build trust, and you're like, no, she would never. And even amongst the traitors, yes, I know there is no honor amongst thieves. But even amongst the traitors, you kind of hope, because you're both traitors, or all three of you are traitors, and if you make it to the end, you could share the money, and when the backstabbing and the betrayal and the manipulation and the lies and the deceits that's coming out, I can understand how Frankie feels. I can. She sees it and she's like, oh, she's just let down. Charlotte is just takes on this very evilish, I don't know, persona. And she's just smiling, she's grinning, she's reached for her glass of champagne. I should have had a glass of champagne with me. Reached for her glass of champagne, she's sipping from it, and Frankie is like, you're going to go out there and tell them I'm the traitor, right? And she's like, well, I don't know, we will see. It's a game. I don't know if I would have reacted that way for someone who I just met and have built a friendship with, and she calls me a friend. Except I take that word, loosely. Then maybe I just wouldn't care how that person feels, but I'll be like, look, it's a game. I'm so sorry you had to find out this way, yada yada yada. But I don't think I would have responded the way Charlotte responded. But well, then it's a recap of when all 25 contestants came in and their journey through this series, and then Claudia comes and tells them there's a mission, basically dangle from some helicopter, try to throw a bag of money into a ring of fire and just put some money towards the prize pot, which they did. Oh, I've skipped something. Breakfast time. Breakfast time was Jake, Leanne, and Alexander, and then Frankie and Charlotte walks in, and she hugs everyone. She hugs Jake, and then she whispers traitor, and Jake is so confused. Everybody is confused, because they want to know how the meeting went. Charlotte was like, oh, she came, she sat down, there was an envelope that said faithful, and she found that I was a faithful. And Frankie was like, this is not how it went, it said traitor. So of course that has just thrown confusion into the midst of everyone. They make their way out of the breakfast table before the mission. Charlotte sits with Leanne, and the waterworks just starts. I call them white women's tears because it's not real. And she's crying, she's shaking, she's so upset. You know, Frankie is telling Jay, telling everyone who cares to listen that she is a traitor. And, you know, people are just trying to piece together this puzzle like, you've called her best friend. Could you be lying? Could you, Frankie, be the traitor? Yada, yada, yada. Then it's the mission. So this is the part where they're dangling from the helicopter and they had to throw their, you know, money down. If it lands into the ring of fire, they put, it goes towards their prize pot. So what's the word now? It was scary. I'm scared of heights. I wouldn't have done it, but you know, nothing too crazy, nothing too, it was just okay. It was just a mission. They make their way to the banishment table. Frankie, before then, Frankie pulls Leanne aside, you know, and just talks and talks and talks to Leanne and tells Leanne that Leanne is the only person she trusts. She doesn't believe Charlotte is the only traitor. There is another traitor. Then they make their way to the banishment table, and of course, Charlotte, you know, speaks up. She was like, it's come down to me and Frankie, you know, and starts saying all sorts and trying to plead her case, basically. Of course, Frankie is defending herself and saying, why would she want to, you know, put it out there that Charlotte, her friend, is a traitor? Won't the logical thing to do be take her to the very end with her, and then at that side decide, you know, whether to disclose if she was a traitor or not? Charlotte at this point now says a statement that just killed whatever chance Frankie had at winning that prize, because she's like, do not trust this woman. Like, oh God, Charlotte. I am going to wash my mouth with bleach when I say this. Charlotte is an excellent traitor. I would give her that. She really is. But there's just something about Charlotte that I just don't agree with. And this is not me trying to be better than her, better than anybody. I personally wouldn't have said that. I don't know why she said it. I don't know if it's something she regrets, you know, saying. If she was a traitor with you, fine, then let it be your own way of letting others know that Frankie is also a traitor. But you know she isn't, and everyone is in there to win the money. The fact that your chances of winning this money is now slim, don't jeopardize it for someone else. That's just me, you know. She says that it gets down to voting. Everyone votes Charlotte out. But because this is the last time they get to banish, Charlotte cannot reveal if she's a traitor or not. Then it's now down to 4. They all make their way to the fire pit. Claudia gives them the opportunity to end the game by picking a bag. If you throw it into the fire pit and it turns green, you've chosen to end the game. Anyone who throws, you know, banish again, it turns red. Even if it's just one person, they all banish again. So they all throw in their bags and everyone says banish again. They still believe there's another traitor. And Alexander goes. Alexander, to be honest, I'm quite surprised, even though we all know he's a faithful, I am quite surprised he's made it to the end, because like I've always said, he always says the wrong things at the wrong time or the right time. You know, even during the banishment and he was trying to stand up for Frankie, they pointed out, look, you didn't trust Frankie, you know, just the other day when you've suddenly turned over a new leaf and you're standing up for this woman and you're giving her coins, and he sends out mixed signals, and sometimes the expressions, in fact most times the expression on his face just says guilty. He's shaking, he's gone. Again, should we all throw our, let's throw our bags into the fire pit? Are we ending the game or are we banishing again? They all throw, it's down to Jake, Charlotte, and Frankie. Everyone chooses to banish again. I was shocked at this point. I was shocked because I was like, I thought there was some sort of trust amongst those three, you know. Um, and everyone is looking at Leanne like, uh, you know, be careful with the choice you make because I am a faithful, I don't trust this person. Frankie is like, Leanne, I am speaking to you as a mother, I am not a faithful. Jake is telling her, use your head, you know, be logical. And Leanne is like, and then they all get to write their names. Jake, of course, writes Frankie. Leanne shocked me at this point because she also voted Frankie. I didn't believe that. I did not see that coming. You know, it could have been a split, irrational decision from Leanne at that point, or Leanne all along just had some reservation towards Frankie, you know, and trusted Jake more, which I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, they've won. There's nothing anyone can do about it. But I wish Frankie got some money. I just wish. I wish she got some money, you know, her background story. She's a single mom of two. She's been a single mom for so long. She came in with that motherly, maternal thing, and she did get it wrong a lot of times, you know, but I think she's a very genuine, honest, kind person. But you know, it's life, isn't it? It doesn't always turn out the way we want it. But yeah, Traitors UK has finally come to an end, and Jake and Leanne are our winners. So I don't know. How do you all feel about it? Anyway, if you've made it to the end of this video, thank you very much. If you haven't seen previous reviews I've done, please go back and watch it. Forgive me for episode 1. I was all over the place then, you know, but it did get better. I hope it got better with future videos. It's a Saturday morning. I'm just about to start my day. I will see you all in my next video. Bye.